as you can see, it's episode 4, and yeah, so in the last episode we've been focusing on mining and getting a bunch of resources. So in today's episode we're mainly going to be focusing on enchanting. Now, you might be wondering what's going on. In the last episode we left off with the enchantment table. Now, as you know, I did have a sugarcane farm and some more cows. Now, in between episodes, I was actually working on this to get the necessary resources for all the enchantment table stuff. As you can see, I have all the paper and leather. So we might as well just craft up everything on camera, as you guys can see. Now, you only need 46 books. I have 45 because we already have the enchantment table over there. So the only point is we're gonna make bookshelves. Now that we have the bookshelves, I'll quickly just replace all this and I will see you guys then. As you guys can see, if I break this, I have some torches underneath. Because if you guys did not know, on Bedrock Edition, if you have slabs and the light source underneath, the light will still shine through. So you guys might be wondering how we're gonna get the necessary levels to enchant our items. So as you can see here, this is gonna require lapis, and the required item, let's say like the pickaxe. Now at the moment we can get silk touch on both of these and also efficiency. Now to explain this, these are like the levels. So for 30 on this side you need all 15 bookshelves, so you can get this last tier. Now this will cost 3 of the things at the levels at the bottom to have this entire slot. Now this will apply the same effect, like 2 for this and like 1 experience point, level, not point. Now the entire point of a furnace was to actually use it so that we can gain a lot of XP this way. And as you guys can see, if we just flick this lever, which will lock this hopper and this one, we can take out this item, and when we do that we gain experience through this. Now there's actually this bug on Bedrock Edition where the XP never actually goes away, so each time we get exactly the same amount and extra for whatever was smelted. So what I'll be doing is I'll just be taking this out until we reach level 30, and then we will try getting the best enchantments on the pickaxe. So I'll see you guys then. So yeah guys, we're back. As you can see, we have 32 levels, which would hopefully be enough for what we're planning on doing. So for now, I'm just gonna try finding where I left all the resources. As you can see, we have some lapis. Now I actually have a process with this and the furnace system where I would continuously just cycle through the enchantment table until I get the enchantments that I wanted on my tools, the tools I get. So as we can see here, we do not actually want silk touch as of yet, so maybe we can look at what we can get on fishing rod. So we can look now. So now we actually have unbreaking 3, so this gives the chances so that the pickaxe, whenever it breaks a block, it does not take the durability damage. But for now, I think it's actually worth taking the risk. Even though we only have 31 levels, we can always get more. And hopefully it was a good. Now, as you guys can see, this is actually a good pickaxe, but we're not actually looking for silk touch, as it's not one of the books we actually wanted. Now the point of silk touch is, let's for example go to leaves. Now if I break this with with a fist or like any tools, it won't drop the actual block, but with a silk touch item it will drop the leaves. So I actually think for now we're just gonna be having to re-roll this pickaxe and then hopefully later on in this episode we will go back to mining. Now to disenchant a pickaxe, all you have to do is put it into a grindstone, and this will take away the level. So for now we're just going to be going back to the furnace. I've placed more wood in here, and we're back up to level 30. So now we just go back to the enchantment table. Now this actually gives Silk Touch again, so yeah, I'm just quickly gonna sleep, and then I'm gonna get at least a few more levels. So we're not actually looking for Silk Touch, guys, we're actually looking for literally anything else. Most of the enchantments would actually be nice. Efficiency depends, since we have this book already, we're not gonna use it at this point, but that is basically how fast a pickaxe or an axe or a shovel can break blocks. So we're just gonna be enchanting from minimalistic enchants, and now again we have Unbreaking 3. So we have taken that, and we actually got the pickaxe we wanted. So yeah, with this pickaxe, basically it will be able to multiply ores now. The Fortune enchantment has a chance of multiplying ores. Let's say, for example, with diamond ore, this pickaxe will give between 1 and 4 diamonds per ore block. But since we already have a efficiency 4 book, we can make this an extremely good pickaxe. Now, in one of the next few episodes, we're maybe gonna start looking at the Nether and how to cure villagers, as I actually have not found a village as of yet, and we seriously just need some villagers for like early game. And as you guys can see, if you come down into the mines, I'm just gonna try and find some ores that I have not mined up, so I can show to you guys how Fortune works. Now this is actually a huge cave system, but I think for the most part I have gathered most of the resources. As you can see, this is a copper ore. Now normally in the game of Minecraft, a copper ore since 1.17 will drop anywhere between 1 to 3 ores per actual ore block of a raw ore type. So as you could see, we got 9 from that. Now we did this so that in the previous betas, to actually compensate for all the raw blocks. So I'll just make a crafting table so I can show you guys. So as you guys can see, for these there are actually 9 raw blocks per ore block actually. Now we changed this because of how the ore veins we generate in 1.17.2, well 1.17 part 2, so that you can basically compress almost every ore in the game again. Now unfortunately for ores like iron and gold, they will only drop between 1 and 4 of a raw item. So I think for now I can show you guys down to the mines that we have been working on in the previous episode. Now I haven't actually been down here in between episodes, so it's still a bit different. Now as you can see, prior to enchanting we would only get like iron ore from this to be smelted, but now, okay, that was a bad example, but let's say we break this one, we got 3 from the ore we just broke. We will be able to get a lot more resources now. So the entire point of enchanting was to get a better pickaxe so that we could actually start with more late game type stuff or mid game for some of you guys. So let's look at some of this coal. We only have 4 in our inventory. So after mining that, we got 2 more pieces of coal. So this is actually why Fortune is actually very useful. It mitigates the amount of ores you usually have to gather. So let's say we usually would have to gather about 3 times as much resources on average, when you have fortune, you only have to gather a third of the same amount of resources to have the same basic amount of items. The other benefit of this pickaxe having fortune 5 on it now is that it will be able to break blocks a lot faster than a normal iron pickaxe. So I will basically cut here, go back into the ravine, and I will see you guys when... So yeah guys, we're back in that cave system that led to the ravine. I have some lapis here. Now I'm still not gonna be mining the emerald ore, as we will be keeping that in the ore block form itself. As you can see, the entire point of this enchanting episode was just to be like an add-on onto the original third episode of mining. The only point was to get a few resources and then focusing on enchanting, so that you guys could maybe also get a lead start in caving the right way. Now the fun part about having fortune 3 is that you get a lot more resources. For example, now we have 25 lapis, and we will just be clearing out I'll just be clearing out the inventory a bit, just making it better. And I usually prefer putting all the ores and stuff on the right side of the screen and all the blocks everywhere else. Now for example, I don't actually want to be mining these ores. They actually have a very cool texture post 1.16 in the 1.17 update, which actually makes them look extremely cool, and it's actually quite good of a building block. Also the green really pops, and it would actually make a great building block in some builds that require some green tints. I think for now I'm mainly gonna be gathering coal, iron and gold, as they will be needed much later on in the series. So I don't actually know what to do for like the next episode and stuff. So I would really appreciate it if you guys have watched this far, just to put into the comments what you would like to see next. And as you can see, there is some gold there. We're just gonna be building up to it. Now some of you guys actually might be wondering about what efficiency does when it comes down to mining obsidian. Now it actually also makes the pace of which you can mine obsidian way faster, so it doesn't take as long to gather obsidian. I don't actually know the exact rate, but it's between 3 to 4 seconds to break a piece of obsidian. And as you can see, the only annoyance is gonna be since we don't actually have enchanted like armor, I'm not actually planning on upgrading at this point to new iron armor. I'm gonna keep this set until we have enough diamonds to create a new set of armor. Now obsidian is one of those useful blocks that you don't always like to gather, as it is quite a long process to gather a lot of block type. So now that we have 10 pieces, I think that is all we're gonna do for now. Here I'm just gonna be maybe mining some more resources, and then I will cut back and I will see you guys in a bit. So yeah, hi guys, I literally just dug like a few blocks into this ritual cave system that leads to the ravine, and already we have found some diamonds. Now as you can see, we actually don't have any diamonds in our inventory, and as you can see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm pretty sure this was like a tin vein. Yes, a tin vein. Now these are actually super rare to find. I can't believe I actually found one, and yeah, we're gonna be mining this up. Hopefully we get a lot of diamonds. So See, now that we've mined this up, we've got 21 diamonds. That's actually a lot more than I usually expect. It's not like perfect 3 times as much ore blocks, but it's still a lot. There's also another emerald ore block. I seriously don't want to be mining them. Maybe I will enchant an iron pickaxe in between episodes just to gather some of the resources in this cave that I do not want to have picked up a fortune enchantment. Now another downside of like the entire spawn area is the fact that we're still under a hills biome, extreme hills biome, so emerald ore still generates, which is a benefit, but especially in like this area, some of these blocks are actually infested stone, which is actually how silverfish spawn. Now silverfish are just one of those annoying mobs in the game that you don't usually deal with on a day-to-day basis whilst playing on your worlds, but they can get annoying after some time. Now at this point, the only way you can naturally get them is from infested stone that spawns in extreme hills biomes, or if you find a fortress or a stronghold in the overworld that has a spawner at the end portal. So yeah guys, for now I'm just mining a bit. I have decluttered the inventory. So as you can see, we can just compress some of the resources as we get them. Now this will also include diamonds, but I'll keep them on this side for organization. We're actually getting a lot of redstone and iron again. Hopefully I can find some more patches of coal, because we seriously need to keep that furnace alive for as long as possible, or just even if it's a short time. But that's our main way of actually getting experience in this game. Now maybe on my channel in a few days time I will be releasing a video on a mob farm design that I have designed, and I would really like to hear some comments or suggestions on how to improve the rates of it. But I will be working on that episode or video in some time. Now the unfortunate part also is, since we're using an iron shovel, it still takes some time to mine up all the gravel. This is also the other downside of normal like strip mining or branch mining, as some may call it, because of all the gravel that can fall onto you. This is also like where torches and stuff get to be used a lot more frequently, as they can actually break any type of gravity block that falls onto them. So I will see you guys in a bit, just gonna be mining on, and I will see you guys in a bit. So yeah guys, we're done mining, and from that we have gathered some more resources, and for now I'm keeping my obsidian here so it's easy to find. Now I'm gonna be breaking down some of these resource blocks again, because we don't actually want to have them like this. The main reason is I'm gonna be smelting down most of the resources we have gathered, like the gold, the copper and the iron. Now, as you guys can see, there's actually a lot of resources, and also from that mining trip we got 22 diamonds, which I used to craft all these resources. So I think for now I'm just going to be putting in some of these resources into the furnace array. Now this is supposed to go on for some bit, but I will just add some more of the charcoal that was smelted down. And I will also be getting some of this lapis back down, for crafting it back down. So yeah, now we have some resources again, and I am actually gonna be using some of this lapis. I'm gonna be moving some of this raw ores again. So yeah guys, what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna be waiting for this to smelt down so we can get some XP so that we can also enchant some of the new items we have. Like, we need to get these to be enchanted and also these new tools. Now this will actually finish up the entire tool array we have. Now that we have a sword, an axe, a pickaxe and a new shovel, we also have almost a full set of diamond armor, which we will be using after this armor set. So basically what we're gonna maybe be doing for like next episode is focusing on like villagers or how to get them. So we got soft touch and breaking. Now we just need efficiency on this to let it be a very good shovel to use. I'm not actually seeing a lot of enchantments that I want, but efficiency 4 is very risky and I do not actually like having knockback on a sword. Now basically what knockback has a purpose for is what you guys could have seen in the previous episode, where we actually have been killing cows close to the end of that episode. The sword had looting free and knockback, which would actually just let the mobs travel further once they were hit. So we only got efficiency 4 on this, which means I will have to disenchant the sword. Now every time we enchant something, it's worth checking out every other piece of equipment that has to be enchanted, so you can make sure that if there's something you want to get, that you can get it if you really need it. Now also unfortunately it's raining outside, and I think maybe for like next episode I'm gonna have the intensity counter I have on, so that we can see the amount of days that have passed since the start of the series. So the main problem at this point, as you guys can see, is the amount of XP we get from this furnace. Now this also smells down a lot of our resources. And also all this has to be smelted down. So usually what I would do is just work in the background on different types of items, so that the furnace can get as much resources smelted as possible. So yeah, we only got fire aspect on the sword. It's usually one of the enchantments I would go for, but I wouldn't actually just want it on its own, as its only purpose is to set mobs alight. So I will be cutting here and I will see you guys in a bit once I have enchanted some of the stuff. So yeah guys, I've gotten some levels, and now with this enchantment table I haven't actually found something of importance. I really don't like projectile protection, but like with the helmet and the boots we can get fire protection, so it's maybe worth trying out this enchantment. And as you guys can see, these boots have fire protection 4, feather falling 4, which reduces fall damage, thorns 2, which deals damage back to mobs if they attack you, and unbreaking 3. Now this is a direct upgrade, but it still has some things that it will need later on. So we already have that piece of armor equipped at this point, and since the actual sharpness 4, the sword shows bane of arthropods. For now we can maybe have that on the axe. Just gonna check the helmet and stuff first. Now we only got sharpness 4 and efficiency 4. This is still a really good axe and we can always improve on this. Now for a helmet on its own can't just have thorns 2, that really isn't very good. And we still need to enchant the sword and the fishing rod. So the entire process has basically just been me running back and forth between the furnace and the enchantment table, getting levels for the bottom piece or the bottom bar here at the bottom, so we can enchant as much of our gear as possible. So as you guys could have seen, like these boots were doing really bad. Now this is for all armor because I have been doing stuff off camera, like exploring or fighting some mobs, which actually deal damage to the armor. So usually you guys will hear a classic tingle, which would signify the level 30 that has just been gained. I don't know why there's a lighting bug here, but for now maybe just a second torch will work there. So I'm gonna take the chance at this Unbreaking 3 because it can always be a good sword, but it just gave Unbreaking 3, so it's not really that good. Really don't want fire protection anymore because we already have that on the boots, and we now get Luck of the Sea 3. Now Luck of the Sea only affects the fishing loot table by giving you more or rare items with lower weights on the fishing loot. For example, you get a higher chance of getting an enchanted fishing rod, a bow, or even like a mending book or other enchanted books from fishing. And for some reason also on Bedrock Edition there is always a chance of fishing part of a treasure loot table that you can always get like lily pads and stuff. So they are kind of rare as they count toward the treasure items. So I think also with the sword we're not just gonna keep on breaking free, as it's the item we're gonna be using maybe like the most for attacking mobs. Now this is still actually a good fishing rod, not gonna be that good, but we're gonna keep it. And so this entire process is just me running in between the furnace and the enchantment table, so maybe we'll see you guys in a bit again. Yeah, so guys, I actually did get some better enchantments on the sword. We now fire aspect and sharpness 3, and this is just like a step for the sword to make it better. There's still a lot that we can do onto the sword to make it better. Also, another fun fact about any type of fire aspect and campfires or TNT, if you right click with like a fire aspect book or a sword enchanted with fire aspect, it can actually light a campfire. So guys, we're back with bed. Now as you can see, I've put the leggings in, and for this we're gonna get protection 3, which is actually gonna be useful, as for protection 4 it mitigates about 60% of any damage received. So we only got protection 3 on its own. That's still actually good, but for the helmet, for now, maybe like Aqua Affinity, yeah, it's not really the best. The only issue now is that we're gonna have to reroll this helmet a few times. Now Respiration 3 is actually quite good, so yeah, I'm maybe gonna get that. Now as you guys can see, this is actually where like progression, it slows down a lot, or for some bits it's not actually really hard to progress further. Maybe we're gonna be making an iron chest plate, because going mining for diamonds again is gonna take some time because we don't have villagers and this is the only pickaxe we have at this point, and we can't really afford to lose it. Now this helmet is really not giving the best of enchantments, but Respiration 3 will do for now. And with all the armor, I actually think it's time to retire most of the armor we got. I'm also interested in the first trident we received, on what we could maybe get. Preferably we could have gotten like Reptide or Channeling, which are the two preferred trident enchants, which are mutually exclusive, so you can only have one or the other. Now another thing that we can do actually is like taking some of his liver and just gonna be collecting some more sugarcane. Technically with sugarcane, it's one of those items you'd never actually want to stop collecting. The more you have, the better actually it's gonna be for you. But also the more late game it is, the more of it you actually need. Let's say after you've defeated the dragon, you're gonna need a lot of paper to make fireworks. Now with fireworks, they are actually used for like flight and stuff. But for now, we're just gonna be using them to make like books, so we can see what we can get on these books in the enchantment table. Also, if you did not know this, books are actually also usable by enchanting them. For example, now we can get Depth Strider, which is actually quite good for the boots. It would allow us to travel a lot faster whilst in water. And also, since I have auto jump off, if I walk up to a block, it doesn't actually press a spacebar. I actually have to press a spacebar. So this is extremely useful for when you're in water, as it will dramatically speed up how fast you're walking inside of water. Now this is actually a good book to have gotten. The only downside is that it has unbreaking and efficiency, so it's actually gonna be almost like a waste on these pants. Not pants, for boots. But I can basically show you guys what Depth Strider does. So take for example, if we just get into this water and like walk, you guys can see how slow it is usually as compared to on land. But now if we have the boots on, we're gonna be able to walk a lot faster whilst in water. Almost as fast as you're on land. And I did it around. And we've got the trident. This is gonna be a recurring issue if I keep getting tridents from the drowns. So I would really like to see what you guys wanna say we should do with these. And basically I think in between episodes I will be killing some more cows, trying to get as much of a good enchantments as possible. And maybe I'm gonna be re-rolling the helmet, but for now we can take Aqua Affinity because that's actually good for the helmet. And we have protection 3 again. Now I'm maybe gonna set up a chest somewhere in this room so it's easier to enchant. But for now, just maybe putting up stuff there. And then also eventually just sorting out like the entire storage room. For example, I know like woods are supposed to go somewhere here, stones maybe next to it or over here. All I know is I actually wanted to expand via base in that direction, maybe if it includes breaking down this entire walled area and just next to the storage room. For example, we could always just place some blocks here and then just break in between, just continuing off that way. And yeah, I think for in between the episodes I'm gonna be replacing some of the blocks and making it look a lot better. Now another block which I don't actually find very often, or I maybe lost it, is actually the tough block. It actually makes a great comparison to cobblestone. I just needed to sort out most of his barrels. So yeah guys, the main issue is I don't even know where most of the items I have. I know I have stuff somewhere near. I just can't find it at this point in time. And also like maybe doing something for like this top area. We can maybe make some chains hanging with grindstone so it's very low, or even maybe a lantern. So as you guys can see, it's actually sunset again. And now also to show you guys a comparison about the axe, about how fast it can break items now with efficiency 4. I have been clearing some of the forest in the area, but the main benefit of efficiency 4 on bedrock edition is that you can almost insta-mine, which is basically breaking any type of block in as little time as possible. With efficiency in between episodes, maybe releasing like a video with minimal editing on it, just maybe gonna be expanding, making this area look a lot better, sorting out the chests, maybe clearing out the local population of animals. And this is actually where the foxes actually come in handy, as they will kill chicken. That's for you as well, which I can actually demonstrate to you guys just by trying to leash this guy. Now for some reason he's not actually targeting the chicken, which is weird. He may be locked onto something else with his AI. Now they also don't actually take damage from the sweet berry bushes. They actually can collect the berries off of the bushes themselves. So yeah guys, I think that's all for today's episode. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.